Hello and welcome to Pompey Talk in partnership with Jan Leap. My name is Mark McMahon, and joining me in the sofa today to preview tomorrow's game against Barnet is Jeff Marshman and Jordan Cross. Jordan, Barnet tomorrow, another team coming to Fratton Park. Are we expecting them to park the bus?
Well, I'd say Accrington deserve a bit of credit for the way they came. They didn't quite park the bus at all last weekend. They came and got their game plan spot on. They came with a counter-attacking plan and deserve credit for the way that they got that. But they did make it difficult for Pompey. They did sink deeper into the second half. But Barnet, you're going to get a different test from them entirely. A much more physical test. They're going to provide different issues. There's connections, as we well know, I guess we're going to talk about in terms of previous Fratton connections in Akindi and in Gala. And a manager very much with a point to prove in Martin Allen because of perhaps his connection with the Pompey job in the summer, the fact he played at Fratton Park. He's going to be keen to come out and show what he can do. But given what happened last week, it's a game that Paul Cook's putting a lot of emphasis on. He's calling it a defining game, which is a heck of a statement this early in the season. But he believes it's important with the table taking shape and Pompey getting 3 points. And it really needs to be 3 points after what happened last weekend.
Okay, Jeff, Barnet 20th in the table, I think. Again, another home game. Teams that Pompey should be expected to beat. Do you think it's going to be a formality tomorrow?
I'm not so sure if it's going to be a formality. I'm not sure if I agree with Paul Cook's assessment that it's going to be a season-defining game.
It's a big move to make.
Seven games in, but I get where he's coming from in terms of the last two games, games that Pompey would have felt they could have got 2 wins from, and they've got 2 draws, so that's 4 points, isn't it? Dropped. Do I think Pompey will beat Barnet tomorrow? Yeah, I do. I think that the strength and depth that Pompey have got, and also the planned changes that we're expecting to be made, will give Pompey that lift that they maybe missed last week against Accrington. We're looking at Connor Chaplin coming in, aren't we? And I think that's a good move for me.
Do you think Chaplin will be the only one, Jordy? Because Paul Cook has intimated that he is likely to freshen up his attack.
Well, it's quite an interesting point of view again from Cookie, isn't it? Given that he's kind of preached continuity so far through the season, and we've only had the one change, which was the Stockley Tubbs change at Luton. He said he will freshen it up now. I don't think he's talking about wholesale changes. I think he's just talking about a tinker here and there. The one person he has confirmed, as I know our back page lead intimates today, is Connor Chaplin, who's been really knocking at the door. He's taken his opportunities and he's been patient. He's going to come in to start. So that's an interesting issue about who misses out there. The only other one I can perhaps see in is the Stockley Tubbs scenario. That one may be up in the air. And of course you've got the goalkeeping situation there with that up in the air, and seeing what's going to happen with Brian Murphy coming back in. But he's looking at winning that fitness battle, so I would expect him to take his place in the team with Jones.
Okay, Jeff, Paul Cook has said that he is willing to be flexible with his formation. Again, 4-4-2 tomorrow, or will he stick with the 4-2-3-1 formation?
Yeah, it's interesting that he said that because he hasn't actually backed that up yet, has he? Every game that he's played has been the 4-2-3-1, and it's clearly that is his preferred formation. I'd expect him to go with that again tomorrow. I think although Pompey have had a couple of draws at home recently, they're still unbeaten in the league. They're still playing well by all accounts, so there's no real need to tinker with a formation that clearly does work under Paul Cook. Like Geordie touched on earlier, I think that the main sort of divisive issue for Pompey fans at the moment is who plays up front, isn't it? It's Jayden Stockley or Matt Tubbs. And last week when we did Pompey Talk, both yourself and Steve Wilson were sort of intimating that you'd go with
I'd go Tubbs. I'd go with Tubbs, certainly. I fancy that if a chance comes your way, you want it to fall to Matt Tubbs.
He's a proven goal scorer at this level.
But does he fit the 4-2-3-1 though?
Well, perhaps he doesn't, but if you look at the way Paul Cook's operated with players like that before, he's used the likes of Klukas at Chesterfield in a role up front. So he's not used big men there necessarily. So I don't think he feels it has to be a strapping 6'2" beast of a forward who's going to hold up play and bring others into play. Although Stockley does offer that, I'd fancy someone that's when that half chance does come along, he's going to stick it in the back of the net. And we saw last weekend at Luton there were chances coming for Stockley's way. Didn't quite sort of have the nous to sort of take the ball early, or it just kind of frittered away. So yeah, I'd go with Tubbs. And of course you've got the debate about the loan window, which I'm sure we'll pick up in extra time. But another interesting issue is just if Chaplin comes in, who misses out? Bennett's been off the boil recently.
Gareth Evans, again, hasn't really shown the form that he showed in the first couple of games of the season. So there is, and Gary Roberts, there's always people having their say about him too. So there's 3 players there who at the start of the season were very important, the Pompey's attacking threat, that you're sort of going, either one of them could miss out.
We were having a chat about it with my colleague Neil Allen at the training ground yesterday about how it's going to go, and I thought Bennett's been off the boil, but there's been the intimation that he is a main player along with Robertson, that he really is the priority players that will stick around in Cook's mind in the starting 11. So perhaps that leads to Evans, but it's a real debate, and I'm sure one that fans will be picking up with and picking their team on our website, and it'd be interesting to see what their conclusions are.
Okay, before we wrap up then, just get quickly your predictions for tomorrow. Jeff, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think Barnet have been poor on the road this season, haven't they? I think by all accounts they've lost all 3 games in League 2 on their travels. I think Pompey will return to form at Fratton Park tomorrow. I'm going to go over 2-0 win, and I think Tubbs will get on the score sheet.
Yeah, Jordy?
Yeah, I think it's important to get an early goal. Just the one win in all competition for Barnet. I reckon if they can get that early goal, it could be a comfortable afternoon. I'll go 3-1.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that there. Okay, well, that's the preview for tomorrow's game against Barnet. My name's been Mark McMahon. You've been watching Pompey Talk in partnership with Jan Leap. Thanks.